All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down this amazing public roadmap for mastering SQL in just 8 weeks. But here's the thing, we're not talking about some boring study guide. Think of it more like an epic quest, a hero's journey from a complete beginner to a pro who's ready for the toughest interviews out there.
And bam, right from the start, you can feel the ambition. This isn't some learn in your spare time kind of thing. No, this is a full-on sprint, aiming for the big leagues, the top of the top in the tech world.
So you might be wondering, what does that actually look like, day by day?
It's easy to say, I want to be a pro, but having a real step-by-step map, that's the game changer. So let's unfold this map together and see exactly where it leads.
Okay, Chapter 1, every hero's journey has a beginning. And this one starts with a pretty serious commitment to the quest itself.
And wow, look at the discipline required here. It's not just a little bit of studying. We're talking 2 hours of hitting the books, plus another hour of recording the journey. Every single day. And the goal? It's super clear. FAANG-level mastery. No messing around.
Just to put that into perspective, that's 56 days. 56 straight days. This is not a weekend boot camp, folks. That number alone, 56, tells you everything you need to know about the level of intensity we're dealing with here.
Okay, so you've made the commitment. Now what? Well, you can't build a castle without a foundation, right? And that's exactly where our hero starts, by building a really solid base in those first couple of weeks. So week 1 is all about just getting your hands dirty. Installing the tools, creating your first little tables, figuring out how to pop some data in and then pull it back out. It's all about those quick wins right at the start to build up your confidence and really get you hooked. And I love this because it shows you the thinking behind the whole plan. By week 2, you're already hitting those classic stumbling blocks, the stuff that trips up every beginner. It's not just a random list of things to learn. It's a smart roadmap that knows exactly where you're going to get confused and helps you through it.
And here we go. We've reached the first big boss battle of the journey, the thing that separates the casual players from the serious ones. I'm talking, of course, about SQL joins.
The plan literally calls this week the most important topic. And the reason is simple and so true. Joins confuse everyone. If you can get your head around this, it's not just a huge skill boost. It's that moment where you feel like you've leveled up and things really start to click. So how do you teach something that confuses everyone? You make it super simple. I mean, come on, a title like that, explained like you're 5? That's brilliant. It's all about making sure you actually understand it, not just memorizing a bunch of commands. Then, in week 4, you can feel the difficulty dial turning up. You start with something that makes sense, a subquery, which is just a query inside another query. But then you move on to what the creator calls the trick that blows minds. You see that jump? From the basics to the really cool expert-level stuff. This is a big moment in the journey. You're a month in, you've got the basics down, and now you get to unlock the power-ups. These are the advanced tools that really separate the pros from everyone else.
And the first big power-up, window functions. Now, if you're not familiar, you might be asking, what's the big deal? Well, the person who made this plan says it best. SQL window functions changed everything for me. That tells you everything. These things are a total game changer.
And we're not just skimming the surface here. The plan dives deep into the little details. See, it's not enough to know what a window function is. You gotta know the subtle but important differences between things like rank and dense_rank. And let me tell you, that's exactly the kind of stuff they ask you in those high-pressure interviews. By the time you hit week 6, there's another shift. It's not just about getting the right answer anymore. Now it's about getting the right answer fast. A title like, I made this query 10x faster, that shows you're moving from being a coder to being an engineer. You're building elegant, efficient solutions. So, you've got all the tools, you've unlocked the powers. There's only one thing left to do. It's time to face the final gauntlet, the very thing this whole journey has been building towards, the FAANG-level interview. And week 7 is it's a masterclass in how to prepare. Just look at how it ramps up. You start with some easy Google questions, then move to medium ones from Meta, then the really hard stuff. And it all leads to a full-blown mock interview. The creator calls this the glow-up arc, and yeah, you can totally see why. It's brilliant. And they are not pulling any punches about how hard it is. A title like brutal, that's real. That's honest. It makes the whole journey feel so much more authentic, you know? This isn't some magic pill. It's about grinding it out and earning the skill.
So let's zoom out. After all that, after 56 days of pure focus, what's the big picture? Well, we've seen way more than just a plan to learn SQL. What we've really seen is a universal blueprint for mastering any tough skill. And the whole thing is broken down into these awesome, motivating milestones. I mean, surviving Joins Week gets a fire emoji. Then you solve your first real FAN question. You nail the mock interview. Each one is a little victory that keeps you going until you cross that finish line.
But wait, there's a twist. Right at the very end, the creator drops a bombshell. They weren't actually a beginner. The whole thing was a performance, a perfectly planned project to show everyone what a real, dedicated learning process actually looks like. So it wasn't just about learning SQL, it was about showing people how to learn, period. And that right there is the biggest takeaway. This incredibly detailed plan, it's not really just about SQL. It's a recipe for dedication, for structured learning, for putting yourself out there. So it really leaves you with one big question. If this is the blueprint for mastering SQL, what complex skill are you going to build a blueprint for?